Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, well, then I got a real problem. I'm gonna have to try to stream in Patreon next time. Um, anyway, can you see me now? Hopefully. Hmm. That appears to be working better. Oh, good, good, good. Just what you want. You want to see me. So, sorry about that if you were on the other one. Were you guys able to hear anything I said on the previous one? That I had to kill? All right. So, I will redo what I did, and it was good practice, of course. I kind of said before, I don't know if anybody's even going to show up to this, honestly. Um, and since I've never done one on Patreon before, like because the live streaming stuff's so flaky for me, but it's been working good. If you have questions, you can obviously ask whatever. I'll be typing and talking, whatever works. So I guess what I'll get started with is thanks for coming on. And I just got back in town from. Yeah, the taco had a weird seating position for sure. It had like a higher seating position. I just got back in town from Virginia, and I had to go pick up the Atom, which is here. And this car is really, really badass, and it is insanely. Um, it's no joke. It's one of these few cars I've been in for real that I have to have complete and utter respect for because it's just downright dangerous. There's zero room for any type of air or margin driving it. So my point is, I went down there to pick it up, and on my drive back, um, of course, the hurricane comes up, and I planned on driving this back home. I wasn't going to ship it because I didn't want to pay out of pocket to do that, and whatever. So I drove right through the tail of this hurricane, and this is one of the scariest experiences I've ever had driving a car because one, the tires, two, the suspension is not really designed for much travel, so it's very firm. So I'm driving down the road, and all of a sudden I thought I had a flat tire, and of course it's pouring rain and I'm drenched. So I have the wheel turned over, completely turned over, just to get the thing going straight. And this was like at 45 miles an hour. And yeah, it was a total brown flag. So I mean, and if you, I mean, I can't really turn it right now, but there's like a half a turn lock to lock on this thing, basically. Um, Soaking wet, drenched on the interstate with accidents all over because there's no drainage down south on the roads. It's just unbelievably stressful. I've never been through a drive like that before, and of course I was open to the elements. I think that's what made it worse is you can't see anything and you're getting drenched. The whole cockpit of this thing was filled up with water like a boat, and I don't know. It was just crazy. So I drove like that for like 4.5 hours, and I just kind of canceled my plans because I was going to stop and do interviews with a whole bunch of different people for videos. And I'm like, well, what's better? I crash this thing and cause a lot of grief or hurt somebody else, or just try to drive north away from the storm And that's what I did. I drove like 8 hours up up north just to avoid it. To what the hell? It was from I was in middle of North Carolina, and then I drove all the way up to Louisville, Kentucky, to avoid this, and I was dying driving this thing. So yeah, it's really cool and fun, but not so much when you have to deal with real situations. So yes, the funny thing is Scott, he took one look at this and he asked me if I had it paint matched to the Toto toilet because it literally matches the Toto toilet paint color, which of course I had no choice in the paint. This is just what it was. It's, you know, that's how it was. So anyway, that was that story. I just got back and got everything cleaned up, and I'm trying to finish editing some of the shit from the trip and the Straight Pipes Miata Cup car video. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'll show you this too, because this is hilarious. They just dropped this off today. This must be the Halloween edition Volvo. If you could see that. Like, yes, it has orange carpet, and you have to pay extra for this orange carpet. And the guy that dropped it off, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? This has orange carpet in it? I don't know how this is gonna, whatever. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. Yeah, it is pumpkin spice. It should come with like a latte dispenser. But yeah, yeah, my Dodge camera car. They knew that's what I wanted. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the story. I'm not gonna just ramble on. Obviously, if you have questions you want to ask, there's probably like 9. It looks like there's only like 9 people on here. Yeah, White Girl Problems is right. I can't wait. I'm sure anybody that I'm going to show this car to is going to be a female and very excited, kind of like the RDX. I was just at a press event, and I had to get a demo on the RDX because they wouldn't let me get in it, because if I got in it and I didn't know anything about it first, it wouldn't be good. But so many women were looking at the RDX, and it's actually kind of cool, but this is, oh man, definitely geared towards that demographic. So, what do you want to know? Oh, Steve, you know who's in Arizona, Steve? Scott is on vacation in Arizona right now, if you can believe it. I should know where he's at. Prescott, is that even a place in Arizona? I don't know. But yeah, he's there, and he said it's colder there than it is out here. Oh, Sedona, that's right. Yeah, I like how, Mike, you know, and I don't even know. So yeah, no, it's not going to be a replacement for a RAV4. That's not my problem, by the way. So yes, why is it so cold down there? Isn't it supposed to be like 60 degrees? So yeah, that's the question for weather. To answer your question, how is it driving the Atom in traffic? I didn't have any problem with that, except when it was pouring rain, because of the rooster tails from the trucks and all that. You just can't see it. It's got a wiper, and I wore my helmet. I wore my helmet with a closed-faced helmet and a visor because I just had to. So I will tell you a story. So once the weather was better, I was driving in Indiana, and I was just trying to get home because I felt so sick because I was in this thing for like 8 hours. And I pulled off the interstate to get gas because it's got about a 220-mile range or thereabouts, but it's weird because it's not like a regular fuel gauge. It's all an approximation. So I pull in off the interstate, go to this BP in Bufu, Indiana, pull into the gas station. People followed me off the interstate to go pull into the gas station. All the people that worked at the gas station came out, and there were all these people that were pulling off the road to come look at this car because they had never seen it. And this one little kid made his mom pull over, and he said that was his favorite car ever because he played it in Forza. And I'm like, I'm starting to realize that if I'm gonna drive this thing around, I almost have to be, it almost has to be like a, I'm like a brand ambassador because if I'm a dick, and I was a dick about it once because I got back and somebody had followed me, like literally followed me off the highway just to, they don't care about me. They care about the car, but to follow somebody like off the road, like to your house is really creepy. And I was kind of a dick about it. Not like, you know, I wasn't like a total dick, but I was not nice. So I feel like, if I'm going to be driving this thing around, I kind of like have to be nice about it because I have to expect it. But people are so interested in this car. It's actually really cool that normal people, like real people that aren't just car people, like want to see it. So anyway, um oh, it's 70 in the valley. Oh, that's pretty warm. The factory is in Virginia, and I went to Virginia and then down to North Carolina to Long Road Racing, which is the company that makes the Miata Cup car, because I wanted to. I went up to Canada to do the Miata 2019 Miata video and the Cup car on track, and I didn't want to have a video about a Cup car without talking to the manufacturer who makes them, which is in North Carolina. Um, that's just me being anal. The straight pipes are like, oh, whatever. But I drove down to North Carolina to talk to the owners, to see the people that make it. And then I got stuck in the rain down there and I had to drive from Virginia to North Carolina, all the way from North Carolina to Asheville to Knoxville. And then I was going to go to Nashville, but the rain was too bad. So I just went up straight to Louisville with that thing. So it was a long ass trip. I think it was like 1,400 miles I put on it in 2 days. So um, yeah, like the demon following the Jag. I'm sure probably most of you watched that demon video. I was talking to Jack today about it, and he's like, "Dude, what's with the numbers on it? Like the views are so low." And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I can't predict this stuff. All I can do is try my best to make a good video." So, I don't, I did my best with it. If people don't watch it, well, too bad, I guess. Uh, yeah, 40. Oh yeah, that's where I was at. It was on 40 when I hydroplaned. I was terrified there. Yeah, it's just crazy to me. I would think that they would have rain and prepare, have road drainage, but it's not like out here at all. Like you literally have to go half the speed. Yeah, what did you think of the demon video? Was it too long? I mean, I looked at the ZL1 1LE video, like the Camaro, and that thing was like insanely long and full of technical stuff, and people seem to really love it. But it's like the demon video. It's like people aren't interested in it or something, or maybe it's just way too America for people. Um, yeah, I got more than a dose of highway driving in the Atom, and it's anybody that I can meet up with you guys. I really do want to try to get and meet up with the Patreons if we can consolidate some people together in certain spots in the US to get some people behind the wheel of this car. It is really, really crazy. And I'm not kidding you. I'm in a lot of cars and this thing is just off the deep end. So hopefully, in the spring, obviously, or in the winter and warmer areas, maybe we can do something and plan that. Um, yeah, there are a lot of versions of the Challenger and whatever Charger. I think that could be why. I mean, no offense to FCA because they were really cool with the interview stuff, but they're definitely going to the well on that thing. It's like I feel like it's like an iPhone, how many different versions of the same thing can you release? And that's like what they're doing. It's just the same thing over and over and over again. Um, and maybe just people are tired of it. It's not new anymore. So, I wanted to take the car on the Dragon, which I didn't. And oh well, you know, for another time. Uh, I really did enjoy making the demon. The first half of that video was really fun to produce that and make it because the whole goal was I knew I was getting the demon and I couldn't drag race it, which is what everybody wants to see. And I really couldn't destroy the car because it was a fundraiser car. So, they had a lot of money in it from wheels and tires. And it's like, okay, somebody's going to donate to this. I can't go and do ridiculous burnouts and smoke the drag radials and all that on a new car. So I kind of followed the plan of like, how can I make a movie almost out of it? And I tried to do that a little bit. And then I don't know. It's just hard with cars. It's hard to tell a story with cars. So I kind of tried to do that a little bit and then just make a regular car video. And by the time I was done with it, especially editing, I don't even want to ever see a demon again. I really, really was just so sick of it. Like even going back to some of the footage, um, I just hate it. That's why I made so much. I spent so much time on that video that I hate the car because of it, even though there's nothing wrong with the car. Um, I'm glad, and that's like a risk with the promotional stuff with Tri Industries. Like they have a legitimate, good, solid mission. Like they're legitimately good people. I have no problem spinning it that way. But it's always weird because people have a really good bullshit detector. Um, with like promotional advertising and all that. So I really did my best to try not to make it look like an advertisement because it really isn't. Um, but it seemed like people responded to it in a really positive way, so that's good. Um, I want to know. Grandmaster said, "I want to know about the Corvette. You have zero Corvette videos, and I want to know about your experience and comparing it with the Porsche on all senses. Shifter feel, visibility, weight, driving. So I just was talking to Jack on the phone today about this, and somebody on Instagram wants me to do a Z06 video on the C7, and he's actively trying to get me one because it's not something I'm going to get from GM, at least in the Midwest. And he's trying to get me a Z06. Jack is getting a Grand Sport, a brand new Grand Sport. So I'm going to have a video on the Grand Sport for sure, and it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be like the ZL1 1LE, talking about kind of the history of the C7, what all the problems with it when they first launched it, and then what it is now, and why, and that's the whole thing. It's such a great car, and people are obsessed with Porsches, obviously. Why would you want to spend 120,000 plus on a Porsche when you can get a really good C7, like a Grand Sport or a Z06? So that's going to be the video for that, and I don't know when it's going to get done. If we can get it in before the weather turns, that's what I'll do. But yeah, that's kind of the story with that. And I really, really do like the C7, especially the naturally aspirated one. It's a really killer car. Um, I can't imagine what the C8 is going to be like with being mid-engine, or if they're still going to have a rear engine or front engine and mid-engine version. I don't know. The Demon video was great, as everything else for that matter, and Todd is always a great addition. Yeah, so Todd, whose real name is Tom, by the way, he is going to be off in the winter more so. And I'm going to have him in more videos, and I don't know what, but yeah, Tom's seatbelt. I don't know, what we're gonna do, but he's definitely gonna be in more videos because the guy is honestly, I don't know if I really talked about this before, but the guy he's really nice. He's very kind of eccentric, not super eccentric, but he's definitely quirky. But he's just naturally gifted as like he's a character, like a real character. And when the camera turns on, he legitimately probably could be an actor, even though you would never guess it talking to him. And whenever I made videos with him in the past, he just stands out. So it's kind of funny. Uh, but I guess it was a while since the Demon came and got a lot of coverage. Maybe the ZL1 was fresher. And I think you're right. And I saw that Steve said the same thing. When I did the ZL1 1LE, there really wasn't any videos about it. Any real, like, solid things that weren't just like quick promotional stuff. The Demon has been covered to death. and part of it was they ordered the demon immediately when you could order it, and they were one of the last people to get it, and it sucked because it probably hurt the potential of having more people watch the video. And they can't control it, I can't control it. I talked to FCA about trying to get them bumped up in the list, and it just didn't happen. So that's life. um that's life, really. Whatever. So I think in terms of videos and stuff, I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff. I keep saying this. I have a lot of Patreon only content, and I got the call from the SRT guys, the Demon video. I'm going to upload the conference call I had with them so you can listen to what I talked about. I'm also going to have um, the what can I say about this? I have a Navigator, Lincoln Navigator. Um, the Cup Car Miata video, which is coming out this Friday. What the hell else do I have? The Lincoln, or not the Lincoln, the Lexus LS, and I'm saving the BMW M5 for November. The older one, the V10. I'm saving that, and I'm saving certain ones for like November, December. As I've learned, there's just more people that watch them, and also the ad rates are really high. Go figure, shopping season. So yeah, I'm gonna save certain videos for November and December, but that's kind of where it's at with that. Um, yeah, the M5 video is gonna be pretty funny because it really, as you probably saw, it did have problems, and it had problems when I was done with it too. So that's kind of the situation with that. Um, I I do fear for the winter. I mean, it's gonna suck, but I'm gonna have to be more creative with videos in the garage. In terms of like the fine print videos, they're really good for the garage in the winter because there's a lot of technical stuff I can cover. And I've been reaching out to a lot of manufacturers and companies to send me parts for like live demos. And I talked about this with JTech in one of the videos. They make all like the electronic power steering systems, and they're gonna send me like a demo rack of all their different electronic power steering racks, so I can do videos like that and technical stuff. And um, I feel like that's a really good idea um, to supplement like review videos. Um, I do want to travel for the Joy of Driving series, obviously, because it's all about talking to people. Like it's the people aspect. Obviously, you have the technical shit, the driving stuff with the reviews, and then the Joy of Driving is about talking to people, right? I mean, so travel for that is a necessity. It just depends on who it is first and where. I can't just willy nilly piss away money on travel because it's ridiculously expensive. Um, and spending thousands of dollars on flights just doesn't make sense unless I can bundle them together. And that's what I've done. That was the whole trip to like North Carolina. The whole point was to get 4 videos done, which I only got 2 because of weather. But whatever, I'm not too worried about it. If shit hits the fan, then I get a job. Not like I haven't done that before. So but anyway, yeah, like the Patreon stuff is, I mean, if it wasn't really for the Patreon stuff, to be honest, I would definitely be screwed. I would have to be at least having a part-time job. So over this next year, we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, no, actually, it's funny, but I mean, I probably should have some like road trip car that I can just friggin' sleep in like a bum. And I'm pretty comfortable with that idea. Well, maybe not super comfortable. I'll stink like a bum, but I really wouldn't mind if it really helped me to connect with other people, but that's something I have to decide on. So I know, again, there's not going to be a lot of people on here, and I'm probably going to keep this shorter. I'll cut this off in probably like 5 minutes, and I'm going to do more of these, um, and do more like little short ones just to keep it fresh. Um, so like the payout, yeah, that's a good question about the payout on views. The more views in the more short amount of time, the better the money. In the ad rates, like if you could look at the statistics of the ad rates, they're really low, really really low. And I've been playing around with some stuff to see if it goes up, and it's just the way it is now. 3 years ago, it was 7 times higher than what it is now. So basically, if I had what I was doing back then, I mean, I'd be balling. But that's not the way, obviously there's a lot of competition. So now, if you have 100,000 views, a video will make um, 300 or 400 bucks. 300 or 400 bucks, and it depends on what it is. So all that money comes from the first like 2 or 3 days, and that's it. I mean, after that, it's just piddly shit. I mean, if you look at the history of all the other videos, it's like $50 a month, $20 to $50 a month on the bigger videos, and the smaller ones, I mean, it's like $20. So it's pretty bad, honestly. So it rewards people that are constantly churning out content, a lot of it, and that's why you see so many people releasing so many videos, um, and trying to get as many as possible. That's why clickbait is so big. How else are you going to do it? Um, so it is it. Yeah, I've really thought about how to do it, and I'm not changing anything at this point because I really don't want to go to that level to stoop to that level with the bullshit titles that don't apply to the videos, having to really resort to like, you know, we all know what sells. I don't want to do that if I don't have to. And I really don't think that I would anyway. I would get a real job before I lowered myself to being like that. So that's kind of where that's at. But yeah, basically, if I released the video today and it had 100,000 views, I'd probably make $300 on that video in the first like day or two, and then it just nosedives after that. Um, but most of the videos don't do that. I don't get 100,000 views in like 2 days. It's usually like 40, 50,000 views maybe, which obviously I would never talk about this stuff publicly, but just so you guys know, I'm not talking about it because I'm just being straight about it. Yeah, you basically, if you're getting 500 plus thousand views on a video in today's like world, you're doing really well. Yeah, like I sent a video to Jack and Karen with the Atom just as a joke because some dude, some meathead guy had one with no shirt on and his like Russian mail order bride. She just had the typical fake boobs and all that, and she was trying to eat ice cream while he was driving, and the ice cream just splattered all over her face. And I was just like, I told Jack and Karen, I'm like, dude, that's how we should do it. And they're like, yeah, we'll drive and you can sit in a bikini. So that's probably what I'll do. I'll sit in the passenger seat. Um, yeah, and I think that's what really I'm gonna have to push the Patreon side, and obviously, it makes sense because people that really want the video stuff without all the crap that people inject, it seems like a really good supplement to it, and it's working. So I really don't have to change much. I'm trying to make it to grow better. But anyway, I know this is short. I'm gonna cut this off for now, and I'm gonna do more of these, probably 2 or 3 a week. So, you can get on if not, or just watch the replay. But I appreciate you guys coming on, and if there's anything specifically you want to see, post it on the Patreon feed, um, and like ask questions so I can make more content for these live streams. And you know what, honestly, whatever you guys are doing already in terms of the standard stuff, I mean, it's amazing. If I get in a crunch where I'm like, oh dude, I'm really hurt and I gotta cut back or get a job, I'd post something up and be like, oh, okay, this month sucks. But that's my problem, not yours. So I appreciate everybody really being serious about helping me out. So thanks so much. I'm gonna cut this off. I see there's like one more question. As an owner of 90 CRX and now a driver of an '09 Prius, have you considered a later model vehicle? Do you take more precautions driving your Civic, or am I too cautious? Um, I don't worry about the Civic at all. At all. I mean, it's one of the first cars I've had where I just don't worry about it because I know it's so easy to work on. I drive it, put a ton of miles on it, and if something breaks, I can fix it. And of course, I have that 2000, which of course is a shitty car to drive in the winter. So the Civic I don't worry about. And if you have a CRX, because that's a rare car, honestly, I'd worry more about that because it has some value to it. My Civic has, no value except to somebody as crazy like me. I'm gonna release the Volvo video on Halloween, yeah, with it'll probably be called Trick or Treat, and it's just gonna be like glamour shots of the orange interior. But thanks again for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks, Mike, Steve, all you guys, and see ya.